Well, hello everyone. It's been a quick minute since I've done 15 minutes of Fain. I had a little COVID in June earlier this month, but it is great to be back. We were having a little technical challenges there because I didn't want to stream me into the show. Um, Today's show is all about content. Who here freaks out or says to themselves, I've got nothing to talk about. I have no idea what to post on LinkedIn. I get this all the time from my friends and family. If this ever crossed your mind, then this episode is for you. Go ahead and hit the little share button because you know that you know someone who needs to level up their content game over on LinkedIn, whether they are a career professional or a business owner. Okay, so it's time. Share. Just hit that share button. Did you guys know that less than 5% of LinkedIn users are actually creating content? Yeah, less than 5%. Why is that important? Well, because that's an opportunity for you to stand out, get known, and be found. We're reaching about 810 million users 810 million users on LinkedIn. But how can you stand out in that ocean of users, right? Easily, content and consistency. So, you guys, before we get started, tell me, where are you watching from and what industry are you in? I really do want to know because I love connecting people, places, products, and things. So maybe I can connect you to someone that needs your services. And a big shout out to StreamYard, the official sponsor of 15 Minutes of Fame. That's this show right here. And that's the tool that I use to go live on multiple platforms by just hitting one little button that says start broadcast and end broadcast. It makes it so easy to go live on multiple platforms, bring comments on the screen, and have branding. Like, let's put some branding on. Why not? Let's do like that, right? How great is that? You can do this with StreamYard. And if you're interested in just starting to stream or leveling up your streaming game, let me know. I'm going to drop my affiliate link in the comments. And if you sign up with my link, I'll give you like a free 15, 20-minute tutorial on how to get set up because I love this platform so much. So, are you guys ready? I've got a list of topics and themes for you. So it's going to be so simple for you to whip up 30 days of content after you watch this show. Oh, hi, Michelle. Michelle Klein. She's a mobile notary in Washington. Thanks for joining us today. So, you know what? Buckle up, grab your iced tea. That's my choice of drink right now because it's so hot here in Arizona. And get ready to start creating content with ease. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I first started creating content, it was challenging, right? LinkedIn is this professional platform. What should I write about? I want to sound smart. What should I post? Only business stuff, right? Wrong. We're going to debunk some of these myths that you might have heard about LinkedIn and what type of content you should be producing, as well as another question I get asked a lot is, how often should I post? So for anyone that's watching, I'd love to know, how often do you post on LinkedIn? And be honest, there is no wrong answer. We're just trying to debunk some myths and help you get known and get found by creating the right type of content with the right frequency. So here's some questions that I get asked before we get into the list of what type of content and different things. I'm going to go over 3 questions that I get asked all the time. Number 1, do hashtags matter? Yes. You need to use hashtags. But more importantly, what type of hashtags? On Instagram, we create all kinds of personal hashtags, and we create hashtags that really sometimes only have a meaning to us. On LinkedIn, there are rules of thumb. 3 hashtags, maybe 5, but straight from someone at LinkedIn, they told me 3 hashtags, and they want them to be big and broad. Okay. So instead of LinkedIn easy tips, LinkedIn tips, or just LinkedIn. Instead of content for coaches, just content or content marketing. You also need to have a personal hashtag. And I have to give a shout out to John Asperian, who helped me come up with my new hashtag this year, which is Train with Fain. And I'm gonna try to put that in the comments. You can follow Train with Fain. And when you follow this hashtag, you will get my content in your newsfeed. So I would love for you to follow Train with Fain. It also makes it super easy to find your own content. Okay. Oh, Melody, I'm so glad you're here because I might be mentioning one of the platforms that you train on. Quinn, thank you for joining. I just saw you yesterday. You're posting once a week. Great. Also, second question, you guys, who here, what bucket do you fall into? Are you a business owner, entrepreneur, agency owner, or are you a career professional? Just type that in the comments. Everything I'm going to teach you today, it helps for both career professionals and business owners. Oh, Shannon. Hi, Shannon. Post once a week. I want to be more active. So you're glad that I'm sharing this. Well, you know what? Thank you for joining me today, Shannon. Okay. And Melody, I know you post 3 to 5 times a week, girl, because I see your content and I love it. So a good job. And I'm sure, Melody, you might have some insights of how we can manage our content. And maybe, Melody, you and I should do a show on that. If you're up for that, on how to manage content, let me know. If this is step 1, how to create your content, what you should be writing about. Step 2 is how do you manage it with ease, without pain, without pulling out your hair. So let me know if that's something that you would like a show done on. Santosh, thank you for joining us from India. And Michelle, business owner, notary. Okay, you guys. So 3 questions that I get asked all the time. Hashtags, we just went over that. Can I change the font on a post? The simple answer is no, you can't bold or italicize something on LinkedIn. But the longer answer is you can with a tool that I'm going to share. I'm going to have to pull up LinkedIn over here to get that in there. Now, when you use this tool, it's called Fancy Text Generator. I'm going to put it over here in the comments and we'll go to LinkedIn. Come on. I can't wait until the day when StreamYard, when I can see the comments on LinkedIn, because right now we can't. So you can't bold or italicize your text on LinkedIn, but you can with the tool that I just put in the comments, and it's free. One of my favorite 4-letter words. Now let's talk about how much bolding and italicizing. You want to keep it simple. You don't want to use crazy fonts. I really like to stay in the part where it's bold and italicized, not anything else that is crazy. And you really want to just highlight in bold or italicize some keywords that you want to stand out. So be careful when you're using that tool. Question number 3 that I get asked all the time about content. Should I post anything personal over here on LinkedIn? I mean, I know it's a professional platform, Mary. I don't think I should post anything personal. Just throw out business. Promote my business. Promote my business. Wrong answer, folks. Why? Because people do business with people they know, like, and trust. So if all you do is promote your services in your business, how are they going to get to like you and know you? The answer is they're not. And so you're probably missing out on opportunities if you're not sharing who you are. So yes, I'm a business owner. I'm a career coach, a LinkedIn strategist for sales teams and entrepreneurs and small business owners. But I have shared who I am as a person. So here's a rule of thumb if you don't know where to get started. I call it the 80-20 rule. 80% sets you as the expert in your industry, whether you are a career professional or a business owner. 20% is who are you as a person? What do you believe in? What do you stand for? What gets you excited? Like for everyone that knows me, coffee is a go-to for me. The beach is a must. Actually, any body of water, lake, river, pool, beach, right? That's part of who I am. And so you do need to showcase or share who you are as a person. Now, let's start with the different types of content. How many different types of content do you believe there are that you can post on LinkedIn? Throw a number between 1 and 12 out there. Just drop it in the comments and we'll see if I'm close, because I literally wrote these up at 11:30. because I'm on here all the time, so I know this stuff. But I'd love to know, how many different types of content do you think there's out there? Do you think is out there that you can post? And Melody, you and I are going to talk after the show because I think we need to do a show together. So, text only. So, you'll see text only posts. Those still perform really well. Long text, okay? Long text form. There's image where you add an image, usually a graphic or a photo along with the text. There's video pre-recorded. Then there's live, like this show. This is LinkedIn Live. This is a live video. Not everyone has access to LinkedIn Live, and I still don't understand that because it's been over 4 years. There's audio rooms, which is still in beta testing. It's kind of like Clubhouse, like a podcast, but better because people can come up on the virtual stage and ask questions. And it's on LinkedIn, my favorite platform. So I don't have to go anywhere else. This is my audience. You are my people. It's still in beta testing. And so I think like 900 people have access. There's PDF carousels, which I'm actually going to show you some carousels so you understand what I'm talking about and so that you might get inspired to do some of your own. So what I suggest doing with a PDF carousel is create a template that you're going to use all the time. So career professional, what are your brand colors, your personal branding? Quinn, I think that we've talked about that, right? And then as your business, the business owners, what is your personal brand? What are your colors? Those are your assets. What's your style? What's the feel that you want from your content? So this is a PDF carousel, 7 reasons to create content. I thought it was perfect to share today, right? Is that hilarious? Somebody give me a laugh emoji in the comments that I actually picked this one to use today when I'm talking about content, right? Here's 7 reasons to create content on LinkedIn. And so it's super simple. It's a template and we just have the numbers in there and we can manipulate this with ease. Great way to position yourself as go-to in a specific industry, right? Less than 5% of users are creating content. Take advantage of this. And you can see, brand awareness. Best way to grow your network is branded content. This is definitely branded content that I'm showing you. Opportunities will land in your lap. Absolutely. Increases your visibility. Why you should create content. You're on LinkedIn to get known and found, right? Start creating that content. And it doesn't really cost you a penny to get started creating content. So those are 7 reasons. That is a carousel, you guys. But I'm going to show you another carousel. We're going to bring that over because I think it's important that you see a couple different styles of carousel. Now, this one is in Canva, and that's where we create our carousels. So super, super easy. Is a PDF slides part of native LinkedIn? So you can use a PDF that is a content that you can choose to post. So you can do polls, text, image, video, document. So let me show you this other one. Now it is in Canva, but I'm gonna share it with you. So this is a personal post from a client that I was working with. He was in Arizona, but it's personal because he was coming here. As you can see, that's his son. He was super excited. There was a championship game, so they were here for that. So we did the whole sports theme because that made sense. And this guy, Brian Green, loves his sports. So we are highlighting his son, but the text that went with this was talking about his business and how he gets to travel and how family is important to him. And so family and friends, and this shows him in Arizona, hence the yellow, right? The yellow sunshine here. The view of the stadium coming in. Again, big sports guy. And then we had the chance to meet up. So there's the picture of us and then his flight. So that is more of a personal PDF, that carousel that we shared. So I think I answered your answer, Quinn. I think I answered your question, Quinn. Saying question and Quinn all together, that's challenging. Melody says, I need to remake my carousel and LinkedIn banner. Do you make yours from scratch on Canva? I make it from scratch on Canva. That's how we make our background banners and the carousel PDFs on Canva. Super easy. I have a confession to make. Like, that was made by a virtual assistant. But I'll go in and do the light edits. So PDFs, that's number 6. Polls is number 7. And I know, you know what? Last year polls were hot. We were getting like 25,000 impressions, 200 comments. They've died down. And LinkedIn is actually, supposedly, they're taking more control over the polls and making sure they're more relevant. So, you know what? How you take your coffee? That's not a poll to put on LinkedIn. Leave that over on Facebook and Instagram, right? So there are some hard lines, in my opinion. Those type of polls belong over there. But polls about, you know, what's the best thing, work from home. Maybe you're doing research for an article or a blog or for a product that you're getting ready to sell. You know, Melody, she uses ClickUp. So maybe it's like, how do you manage your in-house projects? Excel, Notepad, you know, Asana, Monday, ClickUp. Maybe she could use a poll to do that. Okay. And finally, number 8, nobody put a number in here. So repurposing your blogs, your videos, your podcasts, summits, anything that you are on or that you produce or you create, right? You can repurpose that on LinkedIn. So we take this show, 15 Minutes of Fain, and we repurpose it into micro video clips that are like 2 minutes or less, and we just take a snippet of it. You can do the same thing with podcasts. So it's really important that you guys think about repurposing content. So again, we have text only, image, video pre-recorded, live video like this, audio rooms are in beta testing still, PDF carousels, polls, and repurposing the content that you already have out there. So now we have 2 more areas that we're going to talk about, and I know we're going a little over today. Topics you might post about, because this is where people freeze up. Mary, I can't think of anything to write, right? It's the fear of being attacked on LinkedIn. And I don't really think you'd be attacked, but maybe someone has a different opinion from you. That's okay. That's perfectly okay. But here are 13 topics. So I'm going to rattle through these because then I'm going to go into the third part of creating content. Number 1, questions that you get asked all the time, whether you're an IT professional, a project manager, or a business owner. What are the top 3 questions that you get asked over and over? Create a post about that and answer that question. Social proof, client testimonials, recommendations. Even if you are working a job, I'm sure people have said nice things about you. See if you can get them to write a recommendation on LinkedIn and then take a snippet of that and share that, how you're a wonderful team member. Maybe learning, anytime you're learning. So webinars, conferences, online summits, online and in person, right? In person is back. Melody and I are happy about that, right, girl? Things that are from the heart, who you are, what inspires you, who inspires you, who are you outside of your job? You know, like I said, this isn't the place where you're going to post a picture of your coffee every day, but let people know who you are and what's important to you. Top 10 lists, those are popular, or top 7. Doesn't have to be a top 10. Actually, I think you're supposed to use an odd number. For some reason, that gets more traction. I don't know why. History of your company. So if you work for a company, what is the history about it? Find out and share that. If it's your company, why did you start it? If you're new to 15 Minutes of Fain and new to my company, Mary Fain Brandt Coaching and Consulting, I started my business because my mom was sick with Alzheimer's and I could not work a traditional 9-to-5 job anymore. I needed to be there for her. I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. My dad was one, and it wasn't something that enticed me. And so I started this so I could take care of my mom. And there's a longer story there, but that is why I started my story. We give back to local nonprofits in San Diego, the local Alzheimer's Association. Here in Arizona, I give back to Benavia, which is a wonderful support system for seniors and those with Alzheimer's. Industry news. Now, it doesn't have to be about your industry. What? Why would I write about another industry? Well, you know what? It just shows that you're staying on top of the news. Of course, I'm going to share LinkedIn trends, right? And career trends, but I also follow Amazon and Apple. Those are 2 of the companies I follow, and I get a lot of news on LinkedIn about them. For example, did you know that Amazon and Starbucks too. Did you know Amazon and Starbucks both now have unions? Well, that's actually important to me as a career coach because I could write a whole article on the pros and cons to be working for a company that is unionized. Now, they're not unionized everywhere, but Starbucks has its first union. Shock, right? A do and don't list. That's always great. Interview a coworker or a team member, and it doesn't have to be live video. It could be written questions if you're more comfortable with that. And then speaking engagements, anyone that speaks or trains, even if it's internal, like if you're training a team, you could always write about that, take a photo, share a snippet of that. Is any of this resonating with you guys? Could you just like give me a thumbs up? Let me know. Do you want me to go on? Is this helping you get out of your own head? Okay, so you've got the different types of content. I just gave you 13 ideas, and these are good ideas. It's not like, hey, it's a holiday, right? Happy Easter. There's nothing wrong with some of those, but don't inundate your feed with LinkedIn. I've actually stopped doing that as much this year. The third aspect to creating content consistently with ease is creating content buckets to make it easier. So, what's a content bucket? Here are three that I suggest you start with. Number one, educational. This bucket is anything that's tips, trends. You solve a problem. Maybe you ask a question to your network. You could start a content series like how to take the best photos with your iPhone. Drop one tip a week. Or are you there, Melody? Paging Melody Johnson. How to manage your project with ClickUp. Drop one tip a week. That's why I was so glad you were here, Melody. I didn't know you were going to be here, but I'm using that as an example. Then bucket number two, encourage and inspirational. Thank you, Michelle. Share your story, both personal and professional. I've done both. One was something very personal that I shared that nobody knew about on LinkedIn, and it just helped people see who I am as a person and what I've been through. You usually don't want to share your struggles as you're going through them. You want to share them when you're on the other side of it. So personally and professionally, share your story, the struggles that you've gone through, the lessons that you've learned. Celebrate a milestone or an occasion. Celebrate where you volunteer and give that nonprofit a shout out. Share your biggest fear of failure, like as business owners and as career professionals, right? We have a lot of fear. It's in our DNA. It's just part of being human. I can tell you that I have a post coming out soon about, it's called The Stories We Tell Ourselves. So there's a fear in there. And if you read that, you'll understand what I'm talking about. There was a story. I just saw a post on LinkedIn, and it was a 32-year-old man who just announced he resigned from his job at 32, not because he's a millionaire, because he is going to be a stay-at-home dad because his newborn has a health condition. And so I think that that was an important story to share. And that is actually, in my opinion, inspirational because it can help other dads that are on the fence or embarrassed that they're a stay-at-home dad. Like maybe there's a stigma attached to that, and we can open up a conversation about stay-at-home dads and why people do it and the benefits. And the bucket number three, entertaining. Just be fun. Show who you are. Show that human side. Now, if you can wrap the story back around to your business, that's always great. Or to your career, that's a bonus. But you got to show who you are. So I think once in a while, I show a picture of us at a concert, getting away, or a vacation. So be human, share something entertaining, share your stories, who you are right from your heart, you guys. Do not follow a boring script. So I want to know, what is your next post going to be about? Can you drop it in the comments? I'm going to wait just a minute. I know we went over, but there's so much to share. And this is really just the tip of the iceberg. If you need help creating content, like a 30, 60, 90-day content strategy with like ideas laid out, I have been named the story extractor by past clients. I help extract your story and turn that into content that creates conversations. So if that's something that you're interested in, I'm going to drop my a link in here where you just book a call with me. Not selling anything, because we need to make sure that it is the right fit for both of us. But let's oh, that one didn't go through. There we go. I'm going to drop that in. Well, hi, Christine. Paste. There we go. Fear of failure. Oh, Quinn, you're going to write about that? Make sure I see it. Okay. I would love to see that. So send me the link in Messenger or tag me if you want to say Mary encouraged me to write about this. I'll take that. Finally, you guys, thank you for being here on 15 Minutes of Fain. I'm Mary Fain Brandt. You can find me here every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. The show is usually 15 to 20 minutes, hence the name, of course. Next week's show, I do have a guest, so it's going to be a little longer. CJ Gilbert, we're talking about who owns your content. So I guess we're on this content swing, right? We're going to keep talking about content. You'd be surprised at who owns your content. We're going to share answer that question, who owns your content, and tell you how you should be managing your content so that you own every piece of that. CJ Gilbert and I met through a networking Zoom meeting a year ago, and he's fabulous. This is going to be a great show. It is going to be a little longer. And then after the live show like this, there's going to be a LinkedIn audio room. So if you have never been to a LinkedIn audio event, you can join me next Tuesday around 12:30. I'll get all of that posted today for you. And also, every Monday at 7 a.m., I host with my co-host Laura Bayshore and we host the B Show, where we drink coffee and talk career tips and trends. And Quinn comes to that quite often. He's one of our biggest fans. So that show is about 45 minutes long, and we're just talking about what's going on in careers and sharing tips and trends and answering your questions. And this Monday happens to be our Ask Us Anything series. So you can come and just ask us any questions about interviewing, red flag lists, career exercises, LinkedIn resumes, job market, whatever you want. We'll be there. You can find that on the events tab on your homepage on LinkedIn. We don't actually have event tabs on our personal profiles. LinkedIn, if you're listening, could you please get that feature updated now? So you guys, if you have any other questions, just drop them in. I'll go back and I'll answer the questions in this feed, and I'll make sure to drop any tools that I mentioned, like ClickUp. And Melody, I'll talk to you soon. Everyone, have a wonderful week. Take care.